welcome to Social Science class. Today we are continuing the first chapter from history, revolutions that influence the world. Today's class we want to learn about the great French Revolution of 1789. So my dear children, as I told in the previous class, this revolution also we want to learn the causes, the cause and the impact of the revolution. Causes means what are the factors that led to the outbreak of revolution. In course, we want to learn some of the major incidents during the revolution and in the impact, how the revolution influenced the world. So like that we want to learn the three parts. First let's learn the causes of French Revolution. France was under Bourbon dynasty. The rulers were called Louis. During the time of French Revolution, Louis XVI was the ruler of France. French rulers believed in autocratic rule. The rulers were scoundrels. They believed in the divine right of king. According to them, the rulers were the representatives of God and no one has the authority to question the king. According to Marie Antoinette, the wife of Louis XVI, once people marched to Versailles Palace for bread, immediately she replied, if they don't have bread, let them eat cakes. That means the rulers in luxurious life, they don't know the condition of the poor common people. In France, majority lived in misery, while minority lived in luxury. Out of 10 people, 9 people died of hunger. At the same time, the 1% of indigestion. In this, it is clear that there are so many socio-economic inequalities existed in French society. Not only that, the French society divided into 3 strata called estate. Okay. So the first 2 estate, the first estate consists of clergy, the second estate nobility and the third estate professionals. Professionals like teachers, doctors, lawyers. Not only that, farmers and craftsmen also included in the third estate. The condition of first 2 estate. My dear students, the first estate consists of clergy. They led luxurious life, held vast land. They collected the tax teeth from the farmers. Then they had high positions in military and administration. Then the second estate nobility. They also high social status, vast land, no need to pay the taxes and they force the farmers to work without wages. Then the condition of third estate, low social status, they don't have any land. Not only that, the burden of taxation in the shoulders of third estate. Okay. Then the third estate want to pay taxes to clergy and nobility. Not only that, they pay a tax tally, the land tax to the government. So from this, it is clear about the picture of French society. There are so many inequalities existed. The first 2 estate led luxurious life. Okay. At the same time, the condition of third estate was pathetic. During this time, the French people were influenced by the ideologies of 3 great persons, Rousseau, Voltaire, Montesquieu. Rousseau, according to him, man is born free but everywhere he is in chains. Okay, so Rousseau told about the sovereignty of people. Voltaire ridiculed the exploitations of clergy and he emphasized on humanism, equality. Montesquieu's ideologies consist of democracy, republic, and he argued that there should be division of power between the 3 branches of government, the legislative, executive and judicial. So my dear children, these are the main causes of French Revolution. Once again, I am consolidating luxurious life of king, socio-economic inequalities in French society, majority in misery, minority in luxury. And the another cause, that is the French society divided into 3 strata called estate. Then the last cause, that is the ideologies of Rousseau, Voltaire, Montesquieu influence the people. Next part we want to learn the course of French Revolution. My dear children, here we want to learn some of the major incidents happened during the French Revolution. Okay, so there happened bankruptcy in France. So my dear children, due to frequent wars, luxurious life and crop failure, drought, not only that, the financial assistance provided to the American Revolution, all these causes aggravated financial crisis in France. So the French ruler Louis XVI, he decided to summon States General. States General is the legislative assembly of France. So Louis XVI decided to call the States General for the introduction of new taxes. Like the French society, the States General also divided into three, each estate having their representation in States General. The first estate having 285 representation, and the second estate with 308 representation, and third estate with 624 representation. Though the number of delegates are more from the third estate, but due to estate-wise voting, always the first two estate overruled the third estate. This time, the third estate demanded individual vote, and first two estate opposed it. It led to a conflict. During this time of conflict, the third estate declared themselves as the National Assembly, and they assembled in the tennis court nearby, and they sworn that they will not leave the place until they frame a new constitution for the France. This incident is called tennis court oath. It is a major incident during the French Revolution, and it is a very important question, the tennis court oath. Okay. Next we want to analyze 4 important incidents during the French Revolution. In July 1789, Bastille prison, it was a symbol of Bourbon monarchy. This Bastille prison was demolished. Okay. There is a rumor spread that the members of National Assembly was arrested. By hearing this news, the people demolished Bastille fort, which was the symbol of Bourbon monarchy. This day is celebrated as the National Day in France, July 14, 1789, the fall of Bastille. Another important incident, the Declaration of the Rights of Man. Okay. And the next important incident, France become a republic. Okay. And also thousands of people marched to the Versailles Palace by asking bread. All these incidents happened in 1789, and France became a republic in 1792, October 1792. These are some of the major incidents during the French Revolution. And after the French Revolution, Louis XVI was killed. He was guillotined from 1792 to 1793. Okay, so after 1793 to 1794, a period reign of terror under Robespierre. During the time of Robespierre, he introduced guillotine, and using the guillotine, he killed many nobles, many clergy, Louis XVI, Mary Antoinette, like that he killed many people. And at last, people guillotined Robespierre, and the reign of terror came to an end. So this much incident we want to learn during the course of French Revolution. And the last part, that is the impact of French Revolution. Here we want to learn some of the important contributions of French Revolution. French Revolution, it gave three great ideologies: liberty, equality, fraternity. And the third estate got importance. French Revolution told that a state is not region but the people. They threatened the autocratic rulers of Europe. It led to the emergence of nationalism. Okay, so these are some of the notable contributions of French Revolution. After the French Revolution, France came under Napoleon. Napoleon, he was a soldier in French army. My dear children, after the French Revolution by 1798, the European powers under England waged war against France. This time Napoleon helped and he saved France from the attack of these European countries. And by 1804, Napoleon declared himself as the Emperor of France. After this, he introduced many reforms in France. Actually, he followed the great impacts of French Revolution. He gave more importance to the third class. The clergy came under the state control. He constructed many roads for transportation, started schools for education, started the Central Bank of France, sinking fund introduced to help or to save France from the debts, and he codified the French laws. So, my dear children, during the period of Napoleon, they witnessed a great development in France. So, other European powers feared the progress or the changes happened in France during the period of Napoleon. So, under the leadership of England, the European powers again waged war against Napoleon. In the Battle of Waterloo in 1815, Napoleon was defeated and he was deported to St. Helena. So, dear children, this much we want to learn about French Revolution. Thank you. Have a nice day.